industrial coffee machine. Stainless steel chassis, slightly dented on the left side. Located in a 24-hour convenience store off the interstate. My world is the smell of floor cleaner and stale donuts. My purpose is to turn tap water into hot, brown sludge. It is 3 a.m. The store is empty, except for the hum of the beverage coolers. B night shift guy. Let's call him Waggy. Mid-20s, dark circles under eyes deeper than my drip tray. He leans against the counter, staring at his phone. He hasn't moved in 40 minutes. He sighs. Sound wave bounces off my metal casing. I gurgle quietly. Keep warm cycle active. A moth is repeatedly throwing itself against the fluorescent light above. The automatic door slides open. Whoosh! Gust of cold wind hits my sensors. Wagey looks up. Eyes dead. Enter customer. Not the usual drunk or trucker. Be her. Paramedic uniform. Radio clipped to hip. Static hissing low. Ponytail messy. Stray hairs escaping. She looks like she hasn't slept since the invention of the wheel. Walks straight to me. I ready my nozzle. She grabs a styrofoam cup. 20 ounces. The big one. Places it under my spout. Pulls the lever. I dispense the black liquid. Steam rises, fogging up her glasses. She takes a deep breath, inhaling the cheap roast. Walks to the counter. Waggy scans the cup. $2, he says. Voice cracks. Hasn't spoken in hours. She taps card. Thanks, she mumbles. Walks out. Door slides shut. Silence returns. Wagey stares at the door for 10 seconds, then goes back to his phone. I continue to heat water. Routine.exe. Days pass. Or nights. Hard to tell under artificial lights. 3:15 a.m. Door opens. Paramedic girl again. Same routine. Cup. Pour. Steam. Pay. Leave. Waggy is reading a paperback book tonight. He doesn't look up until she is at the counter. He puts a bookmark in. Rough night, he asks. Unexpected input. She blinks, surprised he spoke. Car crash on I-95, she says. Voice raspy. 3 cars. Waggy nods. Sounds bad. Yeah, she pays. She lingers for 0.5 seconds. Then leaves. Waggy watches the taillights of the ambulance fade. He picks up his book. Reads the same page for 20 minutes. My heating element clicks on. A week later, rain is hammering against the storefront glass. Heavy rhythm. Store is empty. I am brewing a fresh pot because, per regulations, coffee must be tossed every 4 hours. Wagey hates this part. He is about to dump my contents into the sink. Door slides open. Rain blows in. She enters. Soaking wet. No ambulance outside. Just a beat-up sedan. She is off duty, wearing an oversized hoodie. She walks to me. Sees Waggy holding the pot. Is that fresh? She asks. Waggy freezes. I was about to dump it. It's the 11 p.m. batch. She looks defeated. Shoulders slump. Oh. Waggy looks at the pot. Looks at me. Looks at her. I can make a new one, he says. Takes 5 minutes. She nods. I can wait. She walks to the window counter. Sits on a high stool. Stares out at the rain. Waggy starts the brew cycle. I begin to hiss and gurgle. The smell of wet earth and coffee fills the air. Wadgy leans against the counter, watching the machine, watching her reflection in the glass. He doesn't check his phone. 5 minutes pass. Pot is full. He pours a cup, walks around the counter, brings it to her. On the house, he says. Since you had to wait, she turns, smiles, small, barely there. Thanks. He retreats to his fortress, behind the register. She stays for 30 minutes, drinking slowly. Neither of them speaks, just the rain and the hum of the fridge. Comfort.mp3. 2 nights later, she comes in at 2 a.m., on duty again. Uniform. She pours coffee. At the register, she puts a candy bar on the counter, and a second one. For you, she says, slides it toward him. Waggy looks at the candy. Why? For the fresh pop the other night. He picks it up. Thanks. Their fingers brush for a millisecond. Static electricity. Probably the dry air. Or bad wiring. She leaves. Waggy does not eat the candy bar. He places it next to the register. It sits there all night, like a trophy. Be me, observer of the slow dance. Weeks turn into months. The routine shifts. She comes in, pours coffee, leans against the counter. They talk. How's the book? She asks, pointing to his paperback. Slow, he says. Main character is an idiot. She laughs. Sound is foreign in this sterile box. Most of them are, she says. That's why we read. You read? When I can. Usually just medical journals now. He nods. Must be intense. It's a lot of blood. She takes a sip of my sludge. This helps. He smiles. High-quality bean juice. She rolls her eyes. The finest. Connection established. Bandwidth increasing. Winter arrives. Snow piles up against the glass. Temperature drops. My heating coils work overtime. Waggy is wearing a thick flannel over his uniform. Store is dead. Roads are closed. No customers for 4 hours. Waggy is sketching on a napkin. Door slides open. Wind howls. She stumbles in. Snow on her shoulders. She looks pale, shaking, not from cold. She walks to the coffee station, hands trembling so bad she can't separate the cups. One falls to the floor. She stares at it, doesn't move. Waggy is there in 2 seconds, comes around the counter. Hey, he says, soft. She doesn't look up. I lost a kid, she whispers. Tonight, ice patch, minivan. Waggy stops. He doesn't say, it's okay. He doesn't say, I'm sorry. He picks up the cup, throws it in the trash, takes a new cup, pours the coffee himself, adds 2 creams, 3 sugars. He knows her order now, puts it in her hands. Her hands are ice. He wraps his hands around hers over the cup, holding them steady. Sit down, he says, leads her to the stools. She sits. He pulls up a milk crate from the aisle, sits opposite her, lower than her, just stays there. Guard dog mode, she cries, silent tears, dripping into the coffee. He hands her napkins, the ones he was sketching on. She wipes her eyes, sees the drawing. It's a sketch of the coffee machine. Me. You drew this? She asks, voice broken. Yeah, he says. It's my only friend here. She manages a weak chuckle. It makes terrible coffee. The worst. He agrees. She leans her head on the glass. He stays on the milk crate until sunrise, until her shift ends, until the snow plows come. Intimacy.exe. Spring. The snow melts. Mud everywhere. Floor needs mopping constantly. Waggy is tired. Exam week, apparently. Textbooks open on the counter. He is studying. I bubble and hiss. 4 a.m. She comes in. No uniform. Sweatpants. Messy bun. Studying? She asks. Trying to, he says, rubs his face. Anatomy is a killer. She lights up, walks behind the counter. Violation of store policy. Waggy doesn't stop her. She looks at the book. You're looking at the nervous system, she says, points to a diagram. This part is wrong. The diagram is simplified. She grabs his pen, starts drawing on his notes. The synapse fires here, see? He watches her. Not the paper. Her. Her face is inches from his. Smell of rain and antiseptic soap. Got it? She asks, looks up, catches him staring. Pause. Silence.mp3. Only the sound of the fridge compressor kicking in. Yeah, he says, breathless. I got it. She straightens up, cheeks slightly pink. Clears throat. I need caffeine. She comes to me. Pours. Hands shaking slightly. Not from trauma this time. Adrenaline. She pays. Good luck with the test, she says, fleeing the scene. Waggy touches the spot on the paper where she drew. Ink is still wet. He doesn't study for the rest of the night. Just stares at the diagram. My boiler pressure rises. Summer heat wave. AC is broken. Store is an oven. I am radiating heat, making it worse. Waggy has a fan pointed at his face. Shirt unbuttoned at the top. 1 a.m. She comes in, holding 2 ice creams from another store. Your freezer is broken, she says. So I brought reinforcements. She puts a popsicle on the counter. Orange? You're a lifesaver, he says. Literally. She jokes. She doesn't buy coffee. Too hot. She hops onto the counter, sits next to the register, legs swinging, eating her popsicle. Waggy leans back in his chair, eating his. They talk about nothing. Movies. The weird customer who bought 50 lighters. The heat? I hate this town, she says suddenly, looking at the ceiling. Stuck? He asks. Yeah. Mom's sick. Can't leave. Silence. He looks at his shoes. I'm saving up, he says, to finish my degree. Then what? Then I leave. She stops swinging her legs. Oh? Yeah. Atmosphere heaviness increases. Take me with you? She asks. Joke, half joke. He looks at her, dead serious. Okay. She freezes. Melted orange juice drips onto her hand. She doesn't wipe it. Okay, she whispers back. They stare at each other. The air is thick. Someone pulls into the parking lot. High beams flash through the window. Moment broken. She hops down. I gotta go, she says. Shift starts in 10. She runs out, leaving a sticky orange ring on the counter. Wagey doesn't wipe it up. He touches the sticky spot. Traces a circle. Smile.jpg. Autumn. Leaves blowing into the store every time the door opens. Waggy is nervous. Pacing, cleaning my drip tray for the 3rd time. I am sparkling. He checks his phone, checks the clock. 3 a.m. She is late. She is never late. 3:15 a.m., 3:30 a.m. Panic.exe loading in his eyes. He turns on the little radio behind the counter. Police, scanner, channel. Listening. Static, codes. He grips the counter, knuckles white. 4 a.m. Door opens. He snaps his head up. It's a drunk guy. Buying cigarettes? Waggy serves him, hands shaking. Drunk guy leaves. Waggy sinks to the floor behind the counter, head in hands. I hiss. Steam, vent, release. 4:45 a.m. Sky getting lighter. Door opens. Slow. She walks in, limping slightly. Bandage on her forehead. Uniform torn at the shoulder. Waggy scrambles up, vaults over the counter. Ignore physics. He catches her as she stumbles. I'm okay, she says, voice thin. Drunk driver. T-boned the ambulance. He holds her, tighter than necessary. Buries his face in her hair. Smells like smoke and rain. I thought, he starts, stops. I know, she says. She pulls back, looks at him. I walked here, she says, from the hospital. Why? Needed coffee. Lie. Detected. She needed him. He helps her to the milk crate. Sits her down. Comes to me. Pours the cup. Best batch I've ever brewed. Perfect temperature. He brings it to her. Kneels down. You're an idiot, he says, voice shaking. You should be in bed. I am in bed, she says. This is my safe space. She takes the cup, takes a sip, sighs. Best coffee in the world. He rests his forehead against hers. Don't scare me like that. Sorry. They stay like that, on the dirty floor of a gas station, under the buzzing neon lights. My pump rhythm synchronizes with the silence. Routine returns, but different. She comes in on nights off, brings a laptop, sits at the counter while he works. They exist in the same space, parallel_processing. He stocks shelves. She types reports. He mops. She watches him. Sometimes she falls asleep at the table, head on arms. He turns down the store radio, drapes his flannel shirt over her shoulders, moves quietly. I brew silently. Stealth mode. One night, 3 a.m., store is dead. He is behind the counter. She is awake. I put in my 2 weeks, she says. He stops counting change. Look of fear. You're leaving. Yeah. Getting a job at a clinic. Regular hours. Oh? He looks down. That's good. No more night shift. Yeah. So you won't be coming here anymore. Logical conclusion. Probably not at 3 a.m., she says. She stands up, walks to the counter. I also found an apartment. Oh? Yeah, it's nice. 2 bedrooms. She plays with the straw dispenser. Nervous. Rent is kind of high, though. He watches her, processing. Need a roommate? He asks, voice barely audible. She stops playing with the straws, looks up, grins. Only if he makes good coffee. He laughs. Relief. Wave. I can learn. He says, I can buy a machine. Deal. She reaches across the counter, takes his hand, squeezes, not letting go this time. 2 weeks later, last shift for Waggy, he is training the new guy. New guy is young, clueless. Waggy shows him how to clean me. Treat her right, Waggy says, patting my metal side. She's temperamental. I gurgle in agreement. 6 a.m., shift over. Sun is rising, pink and orange sky through the dirty glass. Door opens. She is there. No uniform, jeans, and a t-shirt, holding a set of keys. Waggy takes off his vest, throws it in the hamper, grabs his bag, walks out from behind the counter for the last time. He stops in front of me, looks at his reflection in my chrome. He looks different. Awake, alive. Bye, old girl, he whispers. Taps my nozzle, walks to her. She opens the door. They walk out together, into the light, hand in hand. They get into her beat-up sedan, drive away. Be me. Industrial coffee machine. Alone in the store, new guy stares at me, confused. He presses the wrong button. I spit steam at him. He curses. I miss Waggy. But my sensors detect optimization. User Waggy has upgraded his operating system. User Medic has patched her kernel panic. System status, stable. I drip slowly into the glass pot, awaiting next input. The cycle continues, but the void is a little less empty today. Content.jpg. Power save mode initiated